Yo, yo, yo. This is candibknittin. I'm Candy B. I be knitting. And welcome to today's episode. I thought today I would talk about just what I've been up to, what I got going on. This is Christmas Eve, December 23rd, 2023. And so I've been off work the past week. Just jamming on the one. I guess we'll start with, because I am totally your run-of-the-mill YouTube knitting podcaster, we have to talk about what I'm wearing. And this is my Christmas tree skirt I've shown y'all before. Basically, I just took all the bulky weight yarn I could find in my stash and just cast it on as something just to have over the holiday, because I'm in a festive mood and wanted something to reflect that mood. And it's all done. This is a Purl Soho pattern, and I accidentally sat on it. It's a Purl Soho pattern. I pretty much followed everything except for mine is more of a scrappy look. But it's all short rows. You start on one. Actually, let me go this way because I think shadows will be cast the other way. It's all, you start on one, you cast on one end, and you do short rows until it starts to kind of make a circular shape. The original pattern calls for you to do a whole circle around. I did half circle because my Christmas tree is kind of pushed into a corner, and so a half circle is really just enough, and it stretches out quite a bit because you got this kind of garter stitch going. I could have done better kind of planning the colors, but I think it came out looking spontaneous, which was kind of what I was going for. And I used up quite a bit of my stash of bulky yarn. I did not weave in the ends. I used that as tassels, and it was actually really great because when I did these half circles, I weighed my yarn so that I used up as much yarn as possible in the main body. So I didn't have quite enough yarn to do tassels with the yarn I used, but I had some Caron Simply Soft in my stash, and so I pulled that out in this kind of rainbow, I guess you could call it rainbow dash situation here. We got this teal color and this kind of rainbow color. Those are two different Caron Simply Soft cakes that I used together and made them into tassels. And so, or fringe rather, actually, the technical term. And so this has been underneath my Christmas tree, and now I have a proper Christmas tree skirt that I can use year after year after year. And it's all, I think this is a Caron Spice Cake, might have a tiny bit of wool in it, but for the most part it's all acrylic and can be washed and everything. And I can put it in a vacuum sealed bag somewhere. That's the other reason I didn't do the full circles, because it gets quite heavy and takes up quite a lot of space. And we don't like to have too much like extraneous holiday stuff packed away, and so I can probably, maybe I'll invest in some of those giant vacuum seal type bags to store this in. But that's that. I'm going to take that off now. And the other thing I'm wearing is just a little hat that I decided to cast on because I was just like, I kind of want, y'all have heard me say before, and y'all just saw what my Christmas tree skirt looks like. We're not like super red and green traditional Christmas people, but I did want something festive, and you can see that there's a bit of a Santa inspiration, just the shape of the hat, but it's kind of also, we're also kind of solstice-y type people. I've always imagined myself maybe living in a tree with a hedgehog and a badger maybe. Like I'm very much like a woodsy type person, and so I decided to cast on this hat for myself, and it's just a simple cone shape. I started at the top, and I have this book. It's called Knitting from the Center Out, and I actually got this on clearance from, there's a store called Ollie's in America. I'm not sure if it's in every state in America, but it's like a discount store. They have like overstock items, things that didn't sell at other stores, and they sell them at deep, deep discounts, and they have like a lot of books. If you're a big book person, check out Ollie's, and that's Ollie apostrophe S. And this is Knitting from the Center Out by Daniel Yuhas. And the thing I like about this book is I like to I'm a reader, but the whole book is about literally knitting from the center out, and it has all the principles of circular knitting, and it gets into a lot of like mathematics type stuff, which is really intrigues me. So I actually just enjoy reading this book even outside of the patterns. But something he breaks down in this book is how to knit different types of circles or different ways to knit in the round. And he talks about an I-cord, a cone shape, a circular shape, how to knit ruffles, any kind of concept where you would want to knit in the round. He kind of breaks down the principles of. And so this hat is a cone shape, and the idea of how to make a cone is you cast on, however many stitches, and then you increase every single round, and that's how you get, the perfect cone shape. And what I did, this kind of pinky main yarn is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It's considered super bulky. And this colorway is called Spice Market. And then the contrast color, the brim, and this little tassel is Encore Chunky from Plymouth yarn. And I believe this Woolies came from a thrift store, and this Chunky, I actually have an entire bag of this because we have like I don't know if y'all ever heard of like no buy groups before, but it basically on Facebook, if you search the place you live, like the town you live in, and no buy, a lot of places will have groups where people just are like, either they're looking for something and they don't want to pay money for it, or they're trying to get rid of something for free. And so I got a very good quantity of this, and so I was just like, okay, I'll use it. I didn't get rid of a lot of it because it's just the brim and the tassel. I basically knit the Spice Market until I completely ran out of that, and I don't have any of that left. Knit a brim, and then just came up with the tassel on my own. I was like, oh, should I do a pom-pom? That's more Santa-y, but the tassel, something about the tassel, it's like one part David the Gnome, one part Ebenezer Scrooge. And so I'm very happy with this, and this is what I've been wearing about town as my family and I go about our Christmas business, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I just needed a couple of like really quick wins to kind of ease myself into the holiday season. Just something that happens to me is, I work, and trying to get work done so I can take a little bit of a vacation. And so it's nice to just kind of cast on a couple of things that have been really easy and simple, but also getting me into the holiday spirit. So now I'm definitely going to be wearing this in my pajamas on Christmas Day, looking at my Christmas tree skirt, and I'm very excited about that. The other mode I've been into, I told y'all, I talked about kind of reflecting back on what I knit this year, and also the goals I wanted to accomplish and what I can possibly kind of button up by the end of the year. And I have been buttoning up quite a few projects. The first thing I'm going to show you, we'll go from simplest to the most complex. Just a pair of vanilla socks from Mr. Rulude. I've been on a mission, I guess you could say. He eventually wants 7 pairs of socks so that he can have a pair of socks to wear every day. But I'm also trying to find the perfect fit socks for him. And these are just a vanilla short row heel, which I had never done a short row. This is my 3rd pair of socks for him, so it's not like I've been knitting a million socks for him for years. But this was like this is my personal least favorite heel for myself. And so I started off doing a heel flap and gusset because that's my favorite. But Mr. Rulude has different shaped feet, different size feet. And so I was like, let me give this a go. And actually so far he says that this is the best fitting heel for him, which is actually exciting because a short row heel I pretty much have memorized. And so if this is the sock that he likes, then I can just kind of start jamming on the one and cranking out some socks for him. I cast on 80 stitches on size 0 needles, top down, short row heel, no pattern, really just off of my knowledge of how to do a short row heel. It involves math and thirds. And so it's not necessarily, I don't do like gift knits per se, but I think it's going to be nice for him to have a new pair of socks to wear on Christmas Day. So I'm sure he's very excited about that. The next thing I finished, I showed y'all these hoods I made for my children. We got purple and pink for the roo, and we got teal, and this is called Marina, and this is called Spruce for the loo. And I think I showed you guys these finished before, but I've since washed them. They've worn them out and about. I think they worked out really well. We went and walked around and saw Christmas lights the other night, and it was quite chilly for us, and so it was nice for them to have something brand new and warm to wear. And this is Knit Picks. Ooh, I've talked about it before, and I'll put it down in the description. But it's an acrylic wool blend, mostly acrylic, and like 20% superwash wool. And I also finished their little mittens just in time to go see the Christmas lights. And you see the spruce and the marina here, and the pink and the purple. And then the pink on this is not Knit Picks, it's just a scrap ball of yarn that I have. And they're ripping, and they're gonna have nice clean winter gear when they go back to school the 2nd of January. And it's been quite chilly here, so I'm really excited for them to have something to keep them warm. I was telling you, my toddler, she's 4, and she has pom-poms on her store-bought winter hat that she's had for her store-bought winter hat that she's worn for years. Was actually a hand-me-down from one of my coworkers, and she's since like ripped the pom-pom off of one side of it. And so she was due for some new winter gear, and now they each have something that's hand knit just for them. The other thing that I finally finished and buttoned up, which I'm actually quite excited, because I bought this at the Shenandoah Fiber Fest, and I think I'm getting better and better at buying stuff and then using it when I buy it, which is kind of bad for my actual stash because that's kind of getting ignored. But you know, the fact that I bought a kit, cast on the kit, and I finished it this calendar year. These are the Willa and Ellis lions by Scrap Master Designs. The yarn is a kit from Kim Dyes Yarns, and here we go. They're done. There's one for each of my children. I asked them what their favorite color was. You'll notice that one child, a few months ago, their favorite color was teal, and now their favorite color is yellow. And so I finished this sweater in yellow, and my other child, her favorite color is pink, and so we finished this off in pink. And I had to go dig these out because I gave them to them the other day as soon as I finished them and blocked them and everything. I just steamed blocked them. And little Miss Yellow is already wearing a Rainbow High t-shirt. She was also riding a skateboard when I found her, so yeah, I can already see that they're going to be a little bit rough on these guys, but I did it. I gave them to them. It's just, I just don't think I'm a small toy, cast this on, weave this in, stuff this kind of person. I like kind of big, kind of epic projects. And I think it's also because it's like, I just like knitting, you know, all of the little like casting on, like I get a certain sense of satisfaction from casting off, but the fact that the instructions are pretty decent. Like there's as much as she can, Kira Wharton, the designer, has it in one piece, but it's still a lot of stops and starts, and it's still a lot of like knit 20 rounds and then put that thing down, then knit 20 rounds over here, that kind of thing. And I just like to get in the groove and just knit as far as the day is long. That actually happened with these mittens. I knit the thumb way too long the first time because I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna knit. I did do the pattern a little different. It calls for you to embroider this little pink nose here. One of my children did not want the nose, and it kind of helps distinguish whose lion is whose. It's got a little tail too. I did not do pockets on the sweater. There's also instructions to do a little hamster. I did not do that. I just wanted the basic lion. I actually really did enjoy knitting this sweater because I enjoy sweater knitting, and this is just sweater knitting on a smaller circumference. And the sweaters are actually quite cute because it's got little eyelet details. And if you wanted to do the pockets are in a contrast color, and it's actually like you put it on waist yarn. You do afterthought pockets, and it's pretty precious. I can already see Barbie is probably going to end up wearing this at some point, and maybe they will want more clothes for their lions or their Barbies. And I don't think I would mind knitting small clothes, just because it's a little bit more up my alley than kind of like this little piecemeal, you know, pick up the muzzle and do this and tuck the ends in. And once I figured out how to tuck in the ends, it got a little bit easier, but it was a lot of ends and a lot of tucking. The other thing I did differently, I did the hair a lot longer. In the pattern picture, the hair is cropped pretty close, and I followed the instructions on how long to knit the hair, and then I guess at some point you cut off a lot of the hair, but I figured these are for children, and children love dolls with a lot of hair, and so I think this is more fun. The hair is shedding a little bit because the kids literally, as soon as they got them, they were just like, "Arr!" and, you know, started swinging them around and stuff. So I'm trying to keep everything kind of close. I might need to tie in some more ends or something like that to keep it a little bit more secure. But that's these guys. The other thing I decided to work on, because I am off work and I do have a little bit more time on my hands, and this is the season of quiet and reflection, and I just love like the idea of like doing a puzzle or a board game, or just like something that's completely unplugged and something that I don't necessarily make time for during other parts of the year. Like, I'm so, you know, busy with work and the kids and everything, that when I get home from work, I'm just like, oh, I need to knit, because that's my main dojo casa house. But I decided, I'm gonna have a little bit of extra time over the break. Let me just invest in a little bit of just something else. And so this is my Christmas gift to me, from me. This is a mini loom from Twines Lines, and it's laser cut. It comes with a little tapestry needle, and this, I don't know anything about weaving. I didn't even, I think I might have like had like one of those plastic looms as a child just in the house, but I never, it's not something like that was like taught to me. I don't even think I really made like friendship bracelets or anything like that. So I don't know what this little comb thing is called. And you can see the Twines and Line is laser thinged on there. But you use this to kind of push it down and get all your little... I do know that this is the weft, because from weft to right, I've heard that a million times, and then this is the warp. And so you push your weft down with this guy. And I know that there's, you know, there's obviously the plastic children's looms you can get. You can make a loom out of cardboard, but I just wanted to treat myself with something nice, and, you know, something that I thought would be pretty low entry and kind of meditative and not cause me too much stress, because I don't have to be perfect at it. You know, my knitting, I remember when I first started to learn to knit, and I would just get so excited to just like knit on my little washcloths and things, and now I feel like, oh, the stakes are higher, I need to do this and I need to do that, and I put undue pressure on myself. But learning something new, it's just like, whatever. I will link to the Spruce and Linen YouTube page, because I've been watching a lot of their videos to like learn how to use this and stuff, but for the most part I've been just kind of doing my own thing. My thought with this being that I have a lot of scrap yarn. I've been very much in love with Rooted Fibers. She has a she does a lot of like hand spun weaving and stuff like that, and the idea of having like one of those big old chunky hand spun wraps just sounds really nice. Obviously I'm not going to do it on here, but this is kind of like an entry point. Also, as long as we've lived in our house, we've never really had coasters, and so I figured I could make quick, easy coasters out of these. I do have hand knit, what do you call that? placemats for my table that I've made, and I hear, and they go through a lot, and I don't mind it because that's what the intention when I made them was for the kids to eat on them, and you know, they sop up water and all that kind of stuff. But it would be cool if I could make a couple more even faster with weaving. See, I'm already trying to get the productivity when I'm just trying to have fun. But if I do kind of take off with the weaving, I think that'll be an easy way to get more kind of home goods around the house. And it, you know, yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Might make cute gifts for my coworkers or something, like some rug mugs or something like that. But so far, this is as far as I've gotten. This is the only thing that I've done, and that's okay. I did also purchase, she does these shape looms, and this is a Christmas ornament, and I had the intention of making an ornament, but I don't know if y'all are have experienced all the delays with the United States Postal Service, so I did get this a little late in the Christmas season, and I'm still trying to learn to weave, and so I really don't, you know, I think this might be a next year project once I get more comfortable. I did shop her Black Friday sale, so I think everything together was like maybe like $30, you know, which is reasonable to me. And she also sent free earrings too, and so now I have like festive earrings to wear, which I would have worn, but I'm wearing this hat. And so it's just nice, especially when you're a crafter, and especially when you're a parent and you're, you know, this time of year you're doing a lot for other people. It's nice to think of something for yourself that, you know, other people may not think of. And so I like to always get a gift for myself, just so, you know, my family is actually very gracious and very supportive of my crafting, and I do get a lot of craft related gifts that are awesome. But, you know, me and Mr. Rouloot are both adults with our own jobs, and so we do end up buying ourselves the things that we really, really, really want, you know what I mean? And so that's that. That's what I'm up to. I hope that you have some time off from your responsibilities or your work or whatever this time of year. And maybe you don't, maybe this is not your jam, but in general, I would like to know when you do have big chunks of free time, like truly free time, are you a let me button up and finish these little things that I need to get done? Are you a, oh, let me go get started on the next big project and make some headway into that? Or are you a, I just want to cast on something really festive and fun that speaks very specifically to this time? Or are you taking time to teach yourself a new craft? Let me know in the comments above. Hopefully I will see y'all next week, and I will talk about kind of my reflections on what I knit this year, and you know, how much yarn I used, what I knitted, all that kind of stuff. So until then, if you do celebrate Christmas, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. If you do get some time off, I hope you enjoy that too. If you don't get some time off, I hope you find some pocket somewhere to do something nice for yourself. Until the next time,